Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Maneater. Finally, a game that lets me live out my dream as a shark murdering tourists. But is GTA underwater any good? Let's find out. Maneater is an open world, or rather open ocean, shark game. We're going to eat a whole lot of fish, people, seals, and mutagens in order to become the queen of the sea. The game is framed like one of those deadliest catch TV shows, with a grizzled shark hunter killing your shark mom and scarring you, so you're going to get revenge. This also explains why there is commentary over the entire game by Chris Parnell, which ranges from funny to not so funny. The open world is about as bog standard as it gets. You have several zones, each with a whole host of collectibles and minor missions to complete. Side missions often include things like eating a certain number of fish, hunting a target, killing an apex, or just consuming tourists. Eating literally anything gives one of the 4 types of XP, which are used both to buy upgrades as well as contribute to an overall pool for leveling. As you level, you'll grow into a bigger and bigger shark, and doing size stuff unlocks honest to god shark parts / gear, and these gears have set bonuses because why wouldn't they? Since you're a shark, you're going to be eating stuff like 90% of the time, and the combat around this is kind of like playing a space shooter like Descent, but in melee, which is to say it's not very good. You'll often flail about, biting stuff and missing, and using moves like a stunning tail whip, a dash, and grabbing enemies and shaking them around for damage. There is some strategy in fighting bigger stuff or just avoiding it altogether, though the targeting system kind of just does whatever it wants. You'll be, of course, chowing down on tourists, and like GTA, this increases your wanted level. At first, it's just rednecks and airboats that'll come to get you, but maxing out each tier of wanted level spawns a mini-boss, and should you eat them, bigger and badder boats will come after you all the way up to the Coast Guard dropping depth charges. The collectibles themselves are generally fairly easy to get thanks to your recharging sonar, which pings them both visually and on the map, and only a few of them require some aerial tricks to nab. And there's honestly not much more to Maneater. It's a fairly simple open world loop, with its main gimmick being you're playing a shark from pup to megalodon, seeking some of that sweet, sweet revenge. So what did I like about Maneater? Well, funnily enough, the concept of eating stuff as a shark is incredibly entertaining. The animations and blood are over the top, and it's never not hilarious to see your shark flop out of the water onto some golf course to eat some rich guy. Additionally, this game actually looks quite pretty at times. And while its technical level isn't incredible, and in fact there's a lot of random stutters and issues, the underwater scenes and a lot of the beachside resorts have a very nice oversaturated aesthetic. And lastly, the rising escalation of difficulty from the hunters to the consistent growth you get from eating bigger and bigger things work well together. And since the game is short, upgrades come very quickly and make you feel like you're progressing faster to apex and becoming a bigger threat. When it comes to the bad, as mentioned, the combat in this game is kind of a mess. The auto-targeting is only a suggestion and often disengages at random. The actual biting kind of sucks, and mechanics like grabbing and tossing are really too janky to master. Additionally, the loop here is very gamey, in that the only real goal is just doing map objectives. The formula does not evolve at all after pretty much the second area. And lastly, this game is so janky. I've mentioned the combat, but a lot of the controls, especially flopping on land, feel weird. The upgrade systems are not remotely balanced. Boat combat is hilariously stupid, and honestly, almost every aspect of this game has some unpolished bits. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale, must play, maybe consider, and don't bother. And yeah, Maneater has plenty of problems. However, as I said before, I personally love the 6 or 7 out of 10 AA games, and for some reason, Maneater really works for me. Something about playing as an evolving apex predator, taking down Coast Guard ships, and eating sunbathing tourists will never not be funny to me. And the loop is simple enough that it kept me involved over the game's short length, enough that I have actually platinumed this game twice. It's a bit of a mess for sure, but if you ever want to play a shark power simulator and eat an aquarium's worth of fish and people, Maneater is a ton of guilty pleasure fun. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Maneater, online opinion for this game seems pretty split. So I'd like to know what you think in the comments. But regardless, it's on Game Pass and PS Plus, so go out there and give this game a look.